He was making $80,000 a month from a dorm room. His parents thought he was studying to be a doctor. But when they showed up for a surprise visit, he had to hide computer parts all over his friend's room. 8 years later, he became the youngest Fortune 500 CEO in history. This is the story of Michael Dell, the college dropout who built a $151 billion empire. Picture this, a 19-year-old college freshman, pre-med student. Parents want him to be a doctor. But he's got a secret. In his University of Texas dorm room, room 2713 at the Dobie Center, he's running a business, assembling computers, selling them, and making more money in a month than most college graduates make in a year. His parents show up for a surprise visit. He panics. He hides the computer parts in his friend's room. He tells them he's studying. They buy it. For a while. But the business keeps growing. $30,000 a month, then $50,000, then $80,000. All from a dorm room. And by the end of his freshman year, this 19-year-old kid has to make a choice. Medical school or a computer company. He picks the company. He drops out. And within 8 years, he becomes the youngest CEO to ever run a Fortune 500 company. This is the true story of Michael Dell, the college dropout who turned $1,000 into a $151 billion empire. Michael Saul Dell was born on February 23, 1965, in Houston, Texas. His father, Alexander Dell, was an orthodontist. His mother, Lorraine Charlotte Langfen Dell, was a stockbroker, the first woman broker at the Payne Weber office in Houston. She broke barriers in finance when few women worked on Wall Street. Growing up in that household meant one thing: money talk. Dinner conversations revolved around economics, investing, stock market movements, and business strategy. Michael absorbed all of it. He was studying, taking notes, learning how the world of money actually worked from two professionals who lived it every day. By the time he was 8 years old, Michael Dell tried to take a high school equivalency exam. Not because he hated school, but because he wanted to skip it entirely and start a business. His parents shut that down fast. But they couldn't stop him from thinking like an entrepreneur. At age 12, Michael ran a mail-order stamp and baseball card business. He bought undervalued collectibles cheap and resold them at a profit. He netted $2,000, a fortune for a 12-year-old in the late 1970s. At 14, he bought his first computer, an Apple II, and immediately took it apart to understand how it worked. Then he put it back together, perfectly. Then came high school. Memorial High School in Houston. Michael got a job selling newspaper subscriptions for the Houston Post. Most kids in that position made cold calls and knocked on doors. They made almost nothing. Not Michael Dell. He had a better idea. He realized people moving into new homes and people getting married were the most likely to buy newspaper subscriptions. So Michael went straight to public records. He got names of newlyweds from marriage license applications. He got names of new homeowners from mortgage filings. Then he mailed them personalized letters offering free trial subscriptions. The result? $18,000 in 1 year. As a high school student, he was making more than some of his teachers. He spent the money on a BMW. He was 17 years old. Driving a BMW he bought with his own money. In 1983, Michael Dell enrolled at the University of Texas at Austin. His parents wanted him to become a doctor. So Michael signed up as a pre-med student. But Michael Dell had zero interest in medicine. He was interested in one thing: computers. While other freshmen were at parties and football games, Michael was in his dorm room. Room 2713. Dobie Center. 27th floor. He started buying unsold IBM personal computers from local retailers at cost. He added memory and disk drives, upgraded them, and sold them at 10 to 15% below retail price. It was simple arbitrage. Buy low, add value, sell at a competitive price. Retailers couldn't compete because they had overhead, storefronts, commissions, carrying costs. Michael had none of that, just a dorm room, a phone, and a screwdriver. Word spread fast. People would ride the elevator up to the 27th floor with their computers. Michael would install upgrades. They'd pay cash. And he'd send them on their way. By January 1984, Michael Dell figured out the next step. Instead of just upgrading computers, he would build them from scratch, custom-built, made to order. He registered PCs Limited with the state of Texas and moved the operation to a small condominium near campus. Sales hit $30,000 a month, then $50,000, then $80,000. Michael Dell was 19 years old, making more money than his professors. His parents found out. They were furious. They showed up unannounced. Michael scrambled to hide computer parts in his friend's room. He told them everything was fine. He was still pre-med, just doing a side business. They didn't believe him. Michael made them a deal. 1 semester off to focus on the business. If it failed, he'd go back to school. If it worked, he'd keep going. His parents agreed reluctantly. They thought he would fail. But Michael Dell never went back to school. In May 1984, Michael Dell officially incorporated as Dell Computer Corporation. He moved to a small business center in North Austin. He hired people to take phone orders and fulfill shipments. And as Michael later recalled, a manufacturing staff of 3 guys with screwdrivers sitting at 6-foot tables assembling computers by hand. The entire operation cost $1,000 to start. No venture capital, no bank loans, just $1,000 and an idea. The business model was revolutionary. Build computers to order, no inventory sitting in warehouses. No middleman retailers marking up prices. Customers called Dell directly. Told him exactly what they wanted. Michael built it to their specifications, then shipped it. The customer got a custom computer at a lower price. Dell kept more profit because there was no retailer taking a cut. Everybody won. By the end of 1984, Dell Computer Corporation had earned $6 million in revenue. Michael Dell was 20 years old. By 1985, he had 30 employees. By 1986, the company was pulling in $60 to $70 million a year. The growth was explosive, almost uncontrollable. Michael had to hire experienced executives from IBM and Compaq, build infrastructure, open more facilities, scale production. But he had one huge advantage. He understood his customers, because he was selling directly to them. No salespeople in between. No retail stores deciding what to carry. He knew exactly what customers wanted. And he could deliver it faster and cheaper than anyone else. In 1987, Dell Computer Corporation changed its name from PCs Limited to Dell Computer Corporation. The company also launched a revolutionary service, on-site repairs. If your Dell computer broke down, Dell would send a technician to your house or office to fix it. IBM made you bring your computer to a service center. Compaq made you ship it back to the factory. Dell came to you? It was a game changer. In 1988, Michael Dell took his company public. He was 23 years old. The IPO raised $30 million. Dell's personal stake was worth about $18 million. Overnight, the college dropout became a multimillionaire. The company's market cap hit $85 million. By 1992, Dell Computer Corporation entered the Fortune 500 list. Michael Dell was 27 years old. He became the youngest CEO to ever run a Fortune 500 company. Younger than Bill Gates, younger than Steve Jobs, younger than anyone in modern corporate history. Dell was doing over $600 million in annual revenue. The company employed thousands across multiple continents, manufacturing facilities in Ireland, Malaysia, and China. And it was selling computers faster than IBM could keep up. But 1993 brought a major crisis. The company had grown too fast. Revenue jumped from less than $900 million to over $2 billion in 1 year. The infrastructure couldn't handle it. Inventory systems broke down. Quality slipped. Shipping delays piled up. Complaints flooded in. Stock price dropped. Michael Dell hit the brakes hard. He restructured everything. Fired underperforming executives. Rebuilt systems. Slowed expansion. Focused on fixing the foundation. It was painful, but it worked. By 1996, Dell was back stronger than before. And Michael Dell made a move that changed everything. He started selling computers over the internet. Dell.com went live in July 1996. Many in business were deeply skeptical. Selling computers online? Who would trust that? But within 6 months, the website was generating $1 million in sales per day. Within a year, $18 million a day. By 2000, over $30 million a day. The internet revolutionized the business model. Customers could configure their own computers online in real time. See the exact price. Place the order with a few clicks. Track shipment from factory to doorstep. No phone calls. No salespeople. No friction. Dell pioneered e-commerce for major manufacturers before Amazon was more than a bookstore. By 2001, Dell had become the largest PC maker in the world. The company controlled over 12% of the global market. Michael Dell was 36 years old, and his net worth had crossed $1 billion. But success brought new challenges. The PC market was maturing, growth was slowing. Competitors had copied Dell's direct sales model. In 2004, Michael Dell stepped down as CEO. He stayed as chairman. But he handed operations to Kevin Rollins. It seemed like the right move. It wasn't. Under Rollins, the company lost market share. Margins shrank. Quality issues piled up. Customer satisfaction dropped. By 2006, Dell had lost its title as the world's largest PC maker to HP. In January 2007, Rollins resigned. Michael Dell returned as CEO. He was 41. Walking back into a company in crisis, revenue declining, stock down 40%. But Michael Dell didn't panic. He rebuilt. He cut costs. He streamlined operations. He refocused on customer service and quality. He fired underperforming executives. And he started diversifying aggressively beyond PCs into servers, data storage, cloud computing, and enterprise IT services. Then came the boldest move of his career. In 2013, Michael Dell took his company private. He partnered with the private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. He borrowed billions of dollars from Microsoft, banks, and other lenders. And he bought out all the public shareholders for $24.4 billion. It was the biggest management buyout since the 2008 financial crisis. And it gave Michael Dell 75% ownership of his own company. Full control. No more quarterly earnings calls with Wall Street analysts. No more short-term pressure to hit numbers every 90 days. Just Michael Dell and his long-term vision for the future of the company. Why go private? Because Michael Dell wanted control and freedom to make long-term bets. He wanted to invest heavily in cloud computing, data storage, cybersecurity, and enterprise infrastructure, and he couldn't do that as a public company. Public companies have to show growth every single quarter. Michael Dell wanted to build for the next decade, not the next quarter. Going private worked. In 2016, Dell acquired EMC Corporation, a massive data storage and enterprise software company, for $67 billion. It was the largest technology acquisition in history, bigger than any deal Microsoft, Google, Apple, or Facebook had ever done. And it completely transformed Dell from a PC maker into a full-scale enterprise technology company. The new combined entity was called Dell Technologies. It was no longer just about personal computers for consumers. It was about servers, storage, networking equipment, cybersecurity solutions, cloud infrastructure, and artificial intelligence systems for Fortune 500 companies and governments. In December 2018, Dell Technologies went public again. But this time, it was a fundamentally different company. Bigger, stronger, more diversified, more profitable. The stock opened at $46 per share. The market capitalization hit $34 billion. And by 2024, Michael Dell's personal net worth had crossed $100 billion for the first time. By 2025, it had climbed to $151 billion. He was the 10th richest person in the world. Michael Dell married Susan Lieberman in October 1989. They met on a blind date in 1988. Susan was a fashion designer from Dallas. She later founded her own fashion brand called Phi and designed the inaugural ball gowns for President George W. Bush's twin daughters, Jenna and Barbara Bush, in 2001. The couple has 4 children, Zachary, Juliet, Alexa, and Kira. They live primarily in Austin, Texas, in a 30-3-1,000 square foot mansion that was reported to be the most expensive house ever built in Texas at the time of construction. Through the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation, founded in 1999, the Dells have donated over $3 billion to causes focused on children's health, education, and economic stability. In 2006, they donated $50 million to the University of Texas at Austin. In 2017, they gave $1 billion to various educational and health initiatives. In 2023, they donated another $3 billion in cash and Dell Technologies stock to the foundation. In December 2025, they pledged $6.25 billion to support a new federal program creating investment accounts for children in the United States. The Dells are now among the top philanthropists in America. Michael Dell still runs Dell Technologies as chairman and CEO. He's 60 years old, and he's never stopped working. The company generates over $94 billion in annual revenue. It employs over 130,000 people worldwide. And it's now a leader in AI infrastructure, building the servers and data centers that power artificial intelligence systems for companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. So what do we take away from the story of Michael Dell? First, he saw an inefficiency and fixed it. The entire PC industry was built on a broken model. Manufacturers sold to distributors, distributors sold to retailers. Retailers sold to customers. Every middleman added cost and slowed things down. Michael Dell eliminated all of them. He sold directly to customers. And in doing so, he unlocked billions of dollars in value that was being wasted in the traditional supply chain. Second, he never stopped adapting. When the PC market matured, he diversified into servers and enterprise storage. When the internet arrived, he became the first major manufacturer to embrace e-commerce. When growth slowed, he took the company private and restructured from the ground up. When the entire industry shifted toward enterprise computing and cloud infrastructure, he made the biggest acquisition in tech history. Michael Dell didn't just build a company, he rebuilt it over and over again. He adapted to every major shift in the technology landscape. Third, he valued long-term control over short-term profits. Taking Dell private in 2013 was a massive financial risk. It put the company tens of billions of dollars in debt. Wall Street said it was insane. Financial analysts said he was destroying shareholder value. But Michael Dell knew exactly what he was doing. Going private gave him the freedom to make long-term strategic bets without quarterly pressure. And those bets paid off massively. By the time Dell went public again in 2018, the company was worth far more than it had been in 2013. Fourth, he stayed laser-focused on the customer. From day one in that dorm room, Michael Dell's strategy was simple. Understand what customers actually need. Build it exactly to their specifications and deliver it faster and cheaper than anyone else in the market. That strategy worked in 1984 when he was selling upgraded computers from room 2713. It still works today when Dell Technologies is building AI infrastructure for the world's largest corporations. And fifth, he proved that you don't need a college degree to build a world-changing company. Michael Dell dropped out of the University of Texas at 19 years old. He never went back. He never finished that biology degree. He never became a doctor like his parents wanted. And today he's one of the 10 wealthiest people on the entire planet. Not because he got lucky. Not because he inherited money or connections. But because he saw a massive opportunity, took an enormous risk, and executed relentlessly for over 40 years. The kid in the dorm room became a billionaire. The college dropout became the youngest Fortune 500 CEO in history. The 19-year-old computer salesman became the architect of one of the most important technology companies in the world. This has been the true story of Michael Dell. If this one hit you, subscribe. Share it. Drop a comment and tell us which part inspired you the most. Because this is a story that proves anything is possible if you're willing to take the risk.